in December, I hired like a business coach. And side note, if you hire a coach, fire a coach quickly. And I say that from the perspective of a guy that like, I got what I needed from my coach in like 4 months, but then I kept him around for 9 because I really liked the guy, but it just is a waste of money after the first 4 for me personally. So I hired a coach though. And then in January, actually like mapped out an organizational vision and mission and like the idea of an org chart and like core values and all that kind of stuff. Because I was like, I think this is a real business at this point.
You talked about hiring a coach and you said that you let them overstay their welcome, or what, not in so many words, right? You're like, I let them hang around longer than I needed to. What difference did having a coach make for you? Because I think there's this other idea that like not everyone seeks help. So what was your motivation to seek help? How'd you know? And then have you worked with people since?
So I'll go ahead and give the quick context of the coach that I hired. So like I'm very openly a Christian, and he was a believer that had built and sold a couple agencies previously, and specifically followed a thing called System and Soul that was designed to how do you build a business and good systems that also take care of the souls within them. Everything about that is like, that's exactly what I would like to do.
It's all the boxes. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, and it's very similar to EOS in some ways. So that was helpful. And when I think back on it, what did I need help with? I needed help creating a vision and a mission that was larger than can Mason eat? And I needed help thinking through an org chart. And I know that it sounds odd, but just like when you map out the roles in the organization and then you see all the seats that you currently fill, you're like, got it. So like when I went to go hire people, I just hired based on the org chart. And then I literally removed myself from a seat. It was awesome. So it was the most helpful thing from a hiring roadmap perspective of just like, these are all the roles that I sit in, what it takes up my most time, what am I also really bad at, and what do I hate? And I just bought back all my time. So did that. But I mean, I kept him around for 9 months, and like we would try to do a quarterly review thing, but it was meant for like a leadership team. And at the time, like the first one was like me and my wife. And I love my wife, but my wife is a nurse, and she was mainly there because she was like, you paid $3,000 for this. We should probably have someone else show up for you. In Q2, we never did it. We couldn't get it scheduled because the other person that was on our leadership team-ish had a full-time day job. So like we could never get it scheduled with them. And then in Q3, I did it by myself. So like it was supposed to be a leadership thing for like quarterly alignment and whatever. And we didn't have a leadership team. So I should have just had the help on the front end and not the ongoing help. And then the other thing is I liked him because he had built and sold multiple agencies. What I then later learned is I outgrew him in my first year. He had never broken a 7-figure mark. So when I looked at trying to build a business, I wanted to be guided by people that had already been there and done that. So when I transitioned away from that coach, I've now done the acquisition.com workshop. So I've gone out to Vegas. Now I did their initial workshop and then I did their upsell. So they've analyzed our business and told us all the ways that we suck, which has been super helpful. And we're going back again in October. And then I also joined a thing called C12, which is Christian business leaders that get together once a month for a full day. And the guys in that group are non-competitive, but they all have, I'm the smallest business in the room. And there are a couple of people in there that I would consider to be somewhat significantly heavy hitters. Like there's a guy in there that's a $1 billion business that's third generation. There's another guy in there that owns, and I can't say names because of NDAs, but like there's another guy that owns a consulting AI business that's been super helpful for me as I think through AI implementation in our business. And then there are a couple of guys in there that either run family offices or run private equity groups that have done massive investments. So they are significant heavy hitters. And then I'm just a guy that like runs a small marketing agency. And then I don't know how to do marketing. So like I help them learn how to do marketing, and then they help me figure out how to be a business owner. And like, it's been a very mutually beneficial relationship.
There's a lot to be said for who you surround yourself with. like surrounding yourself with entrepreneurs is one thing. Surrounding yourself with entrepreneurs at like a whole, that caliber, a whole other master class that you can't like buy that education.
Yes. There was a minimum revenue that you had to be, and it's $2 million a year. So I barely scrape by. And that's exactly how I wanted it. Because if I am barely able to qualify to be even in the room, that means that the caliber of people are exponentially greater than me. And that's what I was hoping for.
Yeah. All the things, literally every single thing in there is going to be helpful.
Yep.
There's nowhere to go but up. So no private coaching, but like, so a lot of community-based stuff and building more like mentors and kind of in groups and stuff has been.
Yeah. Thing. And like specifically on mentors, this is going to sound really odd, but like Hormozi talks about this a lot publicly, there's a lonely season. So like I had not yet built a business of any substance. So there were people that I would have loved to meet with, but I wasn't there yet. I wasn't on anybody's radar. Now that I've built a business that I'll do 2.5 million this year. And again, that's in like 2.5 years. So it's not just that I built a $2.5 million business. It's that I did it and it happened quickly. And that amount of work has caught attention from a couple of people. So I now meet with once a month a CEO that just sold his insurance tech company for $120 million. I meet with a CMO that has scaled 4 businesses to 8 figures in 2 years or less each time. And now he runs his own company. So he and I meet once a month. So I've got other people that are mentors that are much further along in their journeys and their careers that I meet with. And I got the access to those people because I built something that was interesting. That people were like, shoot, this guy's actually like doing something interesting. And again, I'm early in my journey. So people also see a lot of themselves early in their journey in me. And they want to give back because people gave back to them. So you use what you got. And like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Nobody does.
I especially don't know what I'm doing.
Well, I guess the people you're talking to, they might know what they're doing, but
they know a lot more than I do. So again, I use what I have, which is I have LinkedIn. I know how to do podcasting. I know how to be humble enough to say very publicly and repeatedly, I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing at the moment. I know how to market. I know how to sell. And I've hired wildly talented people that I can actually delegate to. Now the job is building a culture and being a leader worth following. And those are things that I get to learn by being around really great leaders that have built way bigger businesses that have had employees that have stuck around for 10, 15, 20 years. I haven't done that yet, but I'm learning how to do that.